So this is the Council of Aging meeting, which is being held in the Selectmen's Room at City Hall on Thursday, March 13th at 5:35. If anyone, we have the minutes in your packet. If you get a chance to, we have 2 minutes that we have to prove because we didn't have a quorum last time. So you have the January one and the February one. So we'll look those over quickly. Did everybody have a chance to look at the January one?
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone see any additions or corrections for the January minute?
No.
I hear a motion that it be accepted.
I move we accept the minutes.
Second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Has everyone read the February one? Have a chance?
Just about. Yeah.
Any additions or corrections?
Not from mine.
I make a motion, maybe I'll make a motion that they be accepted as read.
I move we accept them.
Second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's read. So now we will go to the director's report.
First off, I did include on the back of the agenda, I included memorandum from the Executive Office of Elder Affairs about a couple of board trainings that are coming up that are not too distant. One's in Marion on April 24th, and one is in Barnstable on May 16th. I believe they are led by Emmett Schmarzo, who you may have met if you've been around a little bit. He's prolific, entertaining, very thorough, and enjoyable. And so it may be worth, if someone was interested in just hearing more about the role of being part of the Council on Aging Board, and the kinds of things that from the Executive Office, it's the State Executive Office of Elder Affairs, how they might recommend boards run and what they encompass. So it's a thought, and they are periodically available. It doesn't have to be right now, but it is a thought. So I included that just in case you were interested. And just also to note, and I do have copies of this guide for board members, and this is something that Emmett himself had done, and supplies in the training, but I do have extra copies, so that's another way we could go if anyone was interested in a little more information. Also, I placed in the packet a list of the current board members. Just an updated list, because I didn't see one myself being new. And a couple had changed and come on, and that I'm not quite certain when people came on and when they might be going off if they were here for a 3-year. So we could maybe go over that in case anyone was aware of their appointments being up soon.
When is the cycle?
Should be 3 years.
Right.
Yours
but
is this year,
I
but
thought
I don't know what date.
Yeah, okay.
Because they should be, I came across mine, I have a thing, so my date, I'm up in June.
That's when I felt like I was too, but I'm not positive.
And that would be dependent on the month you started or were appointed, do you
Yeah.
think? And is that the case with you, Joan?
Yeah, because they
6
send
years
you,
ago,
they
so
send
that's-
you, actually, they send you a stamp form and everything. So mine is June 2014.
Okay, so Maggie might.
And the other one is Richard.
And do you think, I mean, because they're supposed to be overlapping, that's why I'm not sure.
I don't think he's up yet.
Well, I don't know, like this,
It's 3
that
years.
Pam made up, she had, so I don't know. Yeah, I thought he came on after me.
I know.
But I was on for 6
This
years.
is his, I was too. I think this is his second year.
But we can check with them, we could check with Richard and also Dale.
Okay.
Well, if anyone is aware, just
Yeah,
to
okay.
get that recorded, and then we can move forward with how we need to add or not add, so. Okay, so for general information, we have a new activities volunteer coordinator who actually started yesterday. Finally got her in to the senior center, working 25 hours a week. Her position is funded by the state formula grant. So for now, that's the case. Her name's Melanie Schneider. She's coming from Plymouth. She could pick me up on the way, but I have to be here all day. She'll be responsible for planning, scheduling, and facilitating weekly, monthly activities, special events, new programs, hopefully, that we'll bring on. She will also, so her job is split between activities and then volunteer coordination, so we're hoping that she can recruit more new volunteers, place and train in roles that enhance the functioning of the senior center and fulfill the desire of volunteers seeking a way to contribute to the needs of our seniors and have a place with us at the senior center. So I'm excited about that. And, well, I'll get to that. I had the privilege, really, of having town department head training 2 mornings, I should say, in February on communication and goal setting, primarily for those hired as managers, directors in the last maybe year and a half. So I was lucky that I got to get into that, as did Laura Minier. So we both attended both sessions, and there's one more scheduled for March. That was very helpful. It was nice for us to get that kind of information facilitated, but also to have a chance to interact with other functional areas of the town government that, of course, being remotely located, we don't always get that interaction, and I'm hoping, actually in planning, and already have, making connections with other areas and having them visit the senior center and provide information during Cafe Talks, which actually comes up in the report as well. Both Laura and I met with John Roser and his assistant Shannon, who's videotaping for us tonight, to plan projects and just think about some ways that they could help facilitate our getting more out in the community, providing more information to the community if people aren't always able to come to programs at the senior center, and just help increase community awareness of what the senior center does and what we can provide through our programs and services. So they are interested in being helpful, and we are really appreciative of that, because that's a great way to get to people in their homes. I was asked by the accounting department in the town to change the method by which our instructors are paid. So for people who want to be paid for services that they provide, which generally speaking is exercise and leisure, when they come in to do certain things. And so instead of just collecting money and walking out with their money, they need to have filled out a W-9 and give us the money in an organized way so that we know who's come to the class and how much they have been given. And then we turn in the money to the accounting department, and then they get a check from the town. It really is the way it should be, and it's a little inconvenient, and they have to wait a week for their money. But I think it's the right thing to do, and it helps us really be much more aware of what the seniors are paying and what we're sort of facilitating in terms of money changing hands. It did cause our country western instructor to decide not to come anymore because he was driving from Pembroke. That was his gas money. So it's too bad, he wasn't getting a whole lot, but maybe we'll look for other line dancing options or things that people want to dance at the senior center. We'll figure it out. And that was too bad. I tried to talk him out of it. We did have a new water cooler installed, hot and cold water. It's great. It's filtered. Very nice of the facilities manager to get that in for us. And also, he did, in fact, hire Service Master for us to come in and do a good cleaning of the kitchen and the woodwork in the center. We still have some work to do to shine things up a little bit, but we're really happy about it. So we feel like we can start using the kitchen. But in addition, need the health inspector to come in and just check it over. I do plan to start submitting my own monthly article for monthly, hopefully, to the Mariner, just to acquaint the community with who we are also and what we do. Just keep us sort of in front and hopefully entice more people to come in. I may report on activities and events of interest, profile some special circumstances and topics as they arise. I do, however, need a catchy title. I know Joanne already has one for us. I need to think of one, and that's a good one. Elder Edge is what you call it.
Meals on Wheels later.
Did it? Okay, well, if...
Some of them are funded by it.
Oh, well, okay. It's hard to get it. It's hard to
They're
get
on
it.
the edge.
Well, it depends on your perspective there, I guess. Well, if anyone has any suggestions for one. I like alliteration too, so that is nice, but something inclusive, of course, is what I'm looking for too, and fun. So I'd welcome any input and also any suggestions the board might have in terms of topics of interest that we should perhaps publicize. In terms of activities, this past month, or generally speaking, we have our standard exercise classes, which I mentioned in the report: cardio, yoga, Tai Chi, a gentle class for those battling arthritis. We have leisure, our knitters, bridge, and the watercolor class, which is why we're meeting here tonight. So I hate to have them not do it. It's really, it's wonderful that she comes in. Also badminton once a week at the Jenkins School, and softball, I think, is coming around soon. And those are both co-ed, so we should be encouraged maybe. It seems like great exercise for badminton. And we did actually support the purchase of the equipment that's used at the Jenkins School. They do use it as well, I'm told, but nets and whatever other materials they need to do that. So it's nice if we can get a lot of people to do it. Our professional appointments include SHINE, which is Serving Health Information Needs of Elders, and that is critical. We have a man who just comes twice a month, and otherwise he's at another senior center in Weymouth. But his appointments are usually filled well in advance of that month and sometimes the next month. So it's certainly a big area. Ask a Lawyer. Monthly, we have 4 appointments for them at a half an hour each, I think. And those are filled. I'm filling May now. We're filling May now. And Representative Cantwell, who does make appointments, otherwise, he comes by once a month to talk with seniors. Otherwise, the special activities in February, it was light, but we did have the MAPS Local History course, which was filled. We had 2 levels, so that just ended for a 6-week session, and he's agreed to do another 6-week session beginning March 26th, which will run into May, in fact. And we have over 22 already scheduled for that because we just decided to open it up, and if we have to move it, we'll move it. So we hated to say no to have anybody that wanted to take part in it. We did have our monthly men's breakfast in March with Matt Brown, who regaled them with stories for almost 2 hours, and no one left. It was great. We did serve breakfast, so they were full, I think. And it was wonderful. I do have some pictures that I want to submit to the Mariner so that it's publicized that it went that well. And we have one scheduled for April as well with, nicely enough, the owner of Mulaney's Fish Market, Joby Norton, who agreed to come in and talk about his business and how he manages it and the environmental concerns he has, and I think it will be really interesting, and I'm happy to sort of feature people like that from town. We did also have Chief Mike Stewart come in and talk with, we only had about seven or eight seniors come in for that, but they were interested in what he had to say. He talked about scams, but certainly much more than that, and just safety concerns in general. And they could ask him any questions. He stayed for quite a while as well. We have one more new course also being offered by the same man and Dave Ball, who's with the Historical Society president, and they're doing a 3-afternoon sort of walking science, historic, Scituate site field trip, coastal field trips in Scituate. So that is happening in April, and people are very interested in that. Also, I'll just make one mention of the Scituate High School Students Intergenerational event that was today in the afternoon, the sock hop. And it was lovely to see how many of the senior kids were involved in there and dressed and dancing, and it was great. It was ice cream and good music. And we did have probably about a dozen, maybe more, of seniors from the community who did attend, and I did go and took some pictures, so it was great. I did the conga line too. Just so you know. I did attach both the reports, one from Outreach Social Services and the other from Transportation. I will mention that Laura Manier, who's our social services manager since November, so she just this week relocated to the Scituate Harbor Community Building. We'll see how it goes. We'll miss her, but A, we needed the space for our new activities volunteer coordinator, and B, she really needed an office with privacy and just more space to have her own meetings.
Who went there?
Her name's Laura Manier, Social Services.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So there's 2 people that located there, and they did add a door to an office so that she could actually have privacy. She will, of course, continue to work closely with us at the Senior Center with Jenny Gerbis for outreach and in the community as well. So their report is attached, and they, if you just take a look at number of home visits, number of office consultations that come into the Senior Center, telephone consults, I mean, they're high. They're certainly trying to make more phone contacts and home visits when they can. Jenny Gerbis primarily does the application assistance. So there's been a lot of that in the last couple of months. You can see the difference, the duplicated versus unduplicated. So duplicated simply means that these are numbers that might appear more than once, individuals that might appear more than once. Unduplicated is single, new, just one time. Meetings and events attended, they have been out trying to either network or just learn more about facilities that might be available, or Alzheimer's, hoarding, things like that are coming up that they're trying to learn more about. Secondly, the transportation report from Q Cutler. Again, you'll notice the numbers, even from January to February, are down slightly, but again, it's the weather. There's been some changes in people that we might have transported for various medical reasons that may have gone down. So the map, which in fact I had to submit a letter of intent today to re-up on the MAP transportation service that we provides out-of-town medical appointments. So a lot of that might be for dialysis, for instance, to Weymouth or other outside of Scituate, certainly. So we are still interested in being part of that. That involves 5 towns right now. That could change, but we just had to say that, yes, we're interested in receiving the funding. It's been collectively given to Scituate, Cohasset, Hull, Norwell, and
Hingham?
Thank you, Hingham. I knew I would. Anyway, that's who we've been working with. Q, however, on our staff has been the one sort of coordinating the budget for everyone. They take turns with that every 2 years, so she is ready to give that to another town in the next funding sequence. She's been doing that for 2 years. And that is my report.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
John, I'm going to give you this.
So I can give it back to you?
So John Miller is president-elect for the Rotary. He's been very involved. And if you notice that in the marketplace, in Shores and places in Marshfield, we had sold paper trees at different prices, and the money goes to outreach in Marshfield and Scituate. And one of the places that Rotary gives a check to is the senior center for the emergency fund. So John will present Linda with a check from Rotary
Oh, wow.
You an envelope.
Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome.
with
Well,
something
this-
in it.
Right, so this is from the Scituate Rotary Club, and as Joan said, it's a partial dispersal of our fundraising campaign from the Christmas. So, on behalf of the Scituate Rotary Club, it's my pleasure
Very nice.
to again hand over.
Thank you.
an envelope.
Thank you very much. And I believe this is to add to our emergency fund for
Right.
either at-risk seniors or emergencies at the senior center. Thank you very much.
Quite welcome.
You know, John had presented me the envelope at a Rotary meeting, so when we got the check,
It
we
was
said, well, let's
empty?
do it at board meeting. Because we had, the treasurer was,
Made the rounds anyway, so,
In the
okay.
envelope this
the
time.
treasurer was away, so that was
Right.
why.
Thank you very much.
So then, I didn't put in here, but I want to talk about the report for South Shore Elderly Services.
That did not get in that.
So the South Shore Elderly Services always meets the first Tuesday of the month at 9:30 in Braintree. And it's members from every single council of aging is on part of the board. And they had a legislative breakfast, which was very successful. Sandy, the director, is very good with doing things with the media and the politicians, and so it was very successful. I was going to be there, but I had to be helped with Meals on Wheels because they were short of help, so. And in the future, they haven't set a date, but in May, they're going to have Aging is Everyone's Future, and it's going to be like an expo. And that will be announced later, but that's one of the things that they're planning. They always have a board training at the end of each meeting, and this was optional counseling presented by Tara Keller. And it's federally funded and it's free. I'll just tell you what it's a little bit about. Option counseling is an interactive decision support process whereby consumers, family members, and all significant others are supported in their deliberations to determine appropriate long-term care choices in the context of the consumer's need, preferences, values, and individual circumstances. It is a free service available to all elders and persons with disability, regardless of age or income. So that was our training. And now, future meeting schedules and location.
Well, thank you for coming here today. It was good that the town hall was available for us, but in April and moving forward, as long as the Maritime Center is open, so for the next several months anyway, we can meet there. And if the time 5:30 is okay with everyone, I did hope to move it up the half hour. And I wasn't sure if we continue through the summer meeting both months. Do you know, have you met, did you meet last summer?
Yes.
Both months? Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay, so we don't skip a month anywhere. So, beginning in April.
And beginning in April
Second
then.
Thursday of the month at 5:30 at the Maritime Center.
Okay, guest reports. Would you like
You
to?
can, if you want to come,
You want me to go up there?
you could. Or you, either, wishes.
I can get you there if you want.
It doesn't make any difference. Why don't I stand over by Megan? The good part is that the other night at 11:15 or so, they voted to have the assessment study go to town meeting. They voted for it.
Great.
Not that it won't go to town meeting. Tonight, at 7 o'clock, I have to be at the advisory board with Florence, who is going to present it again to them. And hopefully, we'll have a good result there. Also, so that you know, on the 25th of this month, there is going to be at 5 o'clock a spaghetti supper put on by the Friends at the Congregational Church here in town, or the Trinitarian Congregational Church.
Is that a Tuesday?
That's a Tuesday. We chose that because there's no Meals on Wheels that day or anything like that. It's $5, and it's going to be everything, a full, complete meal. And we have asked the Cadet Girl Scouts to be the service. So we will be having somebody there that will be part of the community other than us. It's not limited to seniors, but let's hope there's not more than 100.
Yes, yeah.
Because we're doing it, it's all scratch, it's not jar. It's
Oh.
from the base, the bottom. I would not do anything else.
Who's doing your?
Wow.
Who's doing your?
I'm doing the sauces, and Florence is doing the meatballs, and I'm trying to think, Betty and Noreen are doing the salads. The only thing we're buying, I'm not making ice cream from scratch. We're having ice cream, and they decided on cookies. And one of the seniors who goes to Meals on Wheels insisted on helping, and she is going to get the Italian bread. We finally gave her something that she wanted to do, so it won't be real fancy, but it will be nice. We've already got 12 people and one table already full, and
Call you.
Nina
Oh.
has got her group coming, and she is also going to help me set the tables up that night.
And they're to call you
Nice.
for reservations, right?
Yes,
It's by
oh yes, and they're
reservation.
calling me for reservations, and it's
Yeah.
545-9164. And if you saw the flyers, we kind of goofed. It was April instead of March, but it is March.
March.
But other than that, we're moving along. We have a newsletter coming out soon. Yeah.
What happens at the advisory tonight, as far as that vote goes?
We have to go into no time has been, we didn't hear of a time. We have to go in and just present it, so that it will be basically the same as we did with the
So it's a
selectmen.
two-step process.
Yeah, so it won't be much different. The only thing I'm wondering, and I was going to ask you afterwards, possibility of the bus for seniors that do want to come to that dinner?
To the dinner, okay.
If you could look into the possibility for us. That would help those that would like to come that are definitely transportation short. But other than that, we're still working. We're still going.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I think my husband and I are gonna go on that, I think.
Was there anything else that you wanted to, the next on the board?
Right, that was just maybe a question on whether or not, and it sort of depends on how full a board we have. We were looking for an appointment or a volunteer from the board who would submit to going to the Commission on Disabilities meetings, but I have not heard back from the chairman. I finally found who the chairman was for that, and don't know how often their meetings are, but someone from our board should go to those meetings
We're
as often as they occur. Well, I'm not sure.
Oh,
It
okay.
could be here.
Oh, okay.
You're in Scituate.
You're in Scituate. They should be.
Scituate.
Each municipality has a Commission on Disabilities.
Yeah.
So, just to be able to report back as to what might be happening that might involve some of the disabled or seniors that we serve. And then also, we need a secretary. PM Davis has been reviewing the video from our meetings and then doing the minutes from there. But it certainly would be useful if someone would at some point consider filling that spot as well. And then at our next meeting, I hope maybe we would come up with some committee assignments, some things that we want to start to look at as a board, and then have people decide that they might be interested in one or the other of those, whether it's publicity or housing, something that would be of interest that they could come in and report about periodically at our meetings.
And then I'll have to have someone take my place too, as going to the South Shore Elder Services,
Right.
which is a commitment. You really have to be
It is a commitment once a month. It's a good morning.
once a month.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Okay. But I guess that does depend on when we figure out who's going off, who's coming on.
Right.
And what we have for people. So food for thought, I guess, at this point.
Right. Is there any new business? Can you come up? I hear a motion that we adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Second?
Second.
So moved. Okay.